Thanks for joining us. You are listening to the Team Nerd Tech Show with Tim Gillen of Terrapin Networks. I'm Ruthie Kierwin. And now we're going to go into our tech tips segment, which is when we talk about something small business owners can use in their businesses right away or very soon or this week or today. So this week, we're going to be talking about the idea of whether employees should bring their own devices to work and if that should be something that companies and their bosses require them to do. So what's your opinion on that, Tim? I want to know.
Well, it depends. It depends a lot on the industry, actually.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because a lot of industries are going to want to supply, for example, a phone because they want to have complete control of everything that goes through the phone. And they'll make part of company policy, you don't put anything personal on it. And that could be securities or insurance or finance, those things in particular, maybe even healthcare. And so a lot of those employees will tend to have their own device. They'll tend to carry around 2 devices. And as a recommendation to most employees, you're probably going to want to do that, even though it seems like a hassle. For those kind of industries, and just maybe for a particular industry, that the way that the ownership thinks of the industry is they're just not going to want anything personal on the company phone. Now, as a point of fact for all employees, keep in mind that the email that you do with your company, even if you're doing it for personal stuff, all that belongs to the company. You have no right to that email, no right to those communications. So if you're emailing grandma from your @mycompanyname.com account, that actually belongs to your boss. And if you separate from the company, whether they fire you or you quit, you move on to a better thing, they don't owe you giving that to you. They're not going to want to give that to you because they're not going to want to filter through it. And if you may have something in there that relates to personal stuff that's now sitting on the email server that belongs to your company that they own. And that's how that should work, because that's the only way they can actually control the company communications. So it kind of depends on what your industry is and how your techs or how your employees actually interact with their devices as it relates to your industry. So I guess the answer is talk to your tech team, talk to your team nerd, which as we always talk about, you want to have one, someone who's kind of part of your company, even if it's a contract. Sort of a pitch here for Terrapin Networks. That's what we do. But the model is a good model. You don't need to use us. However you're relating to your tech team, we always recommend that you think of them, certainly the tech manager, as part of your team, not just a vendor. And that's a good